Today we're going to do a recipe. It's going to be venison trail bologna, or trail bologna, whatever, summer sausage. Basically ground venison mixed with some ground pork, some seasonings, a couple spices, and it's going to get stuffed into a fibrous casing that is and there's talks about it on the website, but it's a semi-permeable hard casing, non-edible. Those of you in PA and West Virginia, that means you can't eat it. The cool thing about fibrous casings is they are hard, so you can jam them full. You can't break them. Peel it off when you're ready to eat it. But the stuff that we're going to use is right here. All right, the ground meat that we're going to use is pork, some pork, which is right here. I'm going to use, they call this country-style pork ribs, boneless, but you know what? It's really pork butt. That's the cut of meat, and it's got a bunch of fat in it, which is good because that fat's going to help bind the venison. You don't want to use turkey, even lean ground chuck or something like that, because your end product's going to be all crumbly, and that's not what you want from a sliced summer sausage. So we're going to use some country-style pork ribs, and to go with that is our venison, which actually this is good old back straps. I know, using back straps for sausage, but when you slay as many deer as we do, this stuff, you just throw it away because you've got so much. Okay, so, and besides that, our ground meat and all the trimmings and all that stuff has already been used. So this is left over, so I'm going to use it up. A buddy of mine dropped it off and said make something with it, so that's why I have it. So we're going to make it using some back straps and actually even some tenderloin. So that's it for the meat. 5 pounds. So we're going to do, I don't even know if my face is in there. 5 pounds. So what we're going to do is, this pork is, I'm just going to use all of this, 1.5 pounds of pork. So that means we're going to have 3.5 pounds of venison, which is probably pretty close to those back straps and maybe a tenderloin. So that's what we're going to do. So the next step is going to be grinding up your meat, and I'm going to show you do that right now. All right, so our spices consist of, first of all, 5 tablespoons Tender Quick, okay? 2 tablespoons ground black pepper, and you'll see I left it pretty coarse. Teaspoon of garlic powder, and 1 1/4 teaspoons of ground mustard. We're going to add this to our ground meat before we grind it up. Let me repeat. All right, we're going to add all of this to all of that before we grind it up, because what we want to do is mix all this stuff in there really well with the meat. So, and as we grind it through, it's going to get all better mixed in there. All better mixed, yeah. Okay, you get the idea. It's going to get mixed up pretty well. So that's what we're going to do next. Next, we're going to meet you over at the grinder. All right, we're going to start grinding up the pork, and I got the coarse plate in there. Okay, that was my best Halloween scared piggy imitation. Not so good, but the pork, bada bing, bada boom. And look, I don't know if you can see it, man, but it is almost all fat. Okay, so remember that when you're eating those Western-style boneless ribs. Pork fat's good. Okay, so we've got, that's just about it for the pork. I can switch out blades, run it through the grind, or the fine, but you can get an idea. This is what the venison is going to look like through the coarse plate. All right. The next step is we're going to use what's called fibrous casing, and you need to soak it in hot water for about a half an hour before you're going to use it. And there's a couple of cool things about fibrous casings. They're semi-permeable, so some of this is going to go in a smoker eventually, so some of the smoke is going to get into the meat, or as much smoke as we want is going to actually get into the sausage. And it's pretty tough stuff. As you can see, it won't break or tear when we stuff it. So it allows you to stuff it very full and get a nice uniform shape. So that's what we're going to do. Okay, so the next step is going to be putting the casing over top of the sausage tip. And the cool thing is you can just really bunch it up over here like this all the way to the end, so that as we start to fill this up, it's going to expand the casing and take all of our prepared stuffing mix. And then when we're done, we'll roll up the end and tie it off, and it's ready to go in the smoker. All right, I got the smoker fired up, 200 degrees, and casing's all stuffed, okay? Tied off at the end, and we're going to smoke this for 4 hours, 200 degrees. Okay, and I got a handy-dandy, excuse the camera shake there, handy-dandy little hog ring. You can kind of see it right there. And, you know, that way I can hang up. See if I can get it on there. Okay. All right, see, I got that handy-dandy hog ring. And the sausage isn't touching. Okay. And we're going to let that go for 4 hours, and we'll see you when it's done. So the summer sausage is all done. Right over here is my good buddy Smoother. He's actually the one that brought me the back straps I talked about earlier. I was telling him how that I made this out of back straps and tenderloin, and I know people would say, I can't believe that you're...
That's crazy.
That's crazy. But I said, when you slay as many deers as Smoother does, that you just throw the back straps and tenderloin away. You do make whatever you want out of it. It doesn't matter.
Absolutely.
So anyway, I hooked him up. I ground it up, stuffed it in here. It went on the smoker for 4 hours at 200 degrees. I used a, somewhere around here, was the little hog ring. Worked perfect in the Fast Eddie.
For hanging?
Yeah, it hung it. And so, as you can see, it came out nice and round. There was no air pockets, no bubbles. Brought it out of the smoker and let it sit on the counter at room temperature until it cooled down just enough to really touch it. It hasn't been out, it hasn't been stuck in the fridge at all. I'll slice off a piece for you. The slice is real easy. You can see that it doesn't crumble. It's good. It's pretty good consistency. Peel off this casing, and you're good to go. We're probably going to modify the recipe, I think, because the general consensus was that the peppercorns were a little bit overpowering. So, you know, check back. We'll probably do another version of it.
For the general public.
Yeah, for the general public. And you said some cheese. Throw some cheese in.
I would like cheese.
All right. All right, man. So that's it. Venison, garlic, peppercorn, summer sausage. Check out the website, KillitandGrillit.info or CockEyeBarbecue.com for future recipes for a printable version. And if you have any questions, shoot us an email. Smoother is like the guy that sits in the back room and answers all the email. So he'll hook you up.
Because I talk so much.
He's so talkative. All right. Thanks a bunch.